So Blackrock just launched a new Nasdaq 100 ETF to compete directly with QQQ, and it's priced to win on fees here as well. The iShares Nasdaq 100 ETF, ticker IQQ, started trading 1 month ago on July 9th at a $24 share price with a 0.10% expense ratio. That's cheaper than both QQQ and QQQM, which means there are now 3 major ways to own the Nasdaq 100, all tracking the same exact index, all with different prices, structures, and practical use cases. Here's what you need to know about each one of these before making your decision. Look, obviously all 3 funds track literally the same exact index. The Nasdaq 100, same 100 companies, same weighting, same Apple at the top, same Nvidia, same Microsoft, same Amazon, Meta, Alphabet. The performance of all 3 will be virtually identical before the fees come in. QQQ, that's the original, baby, launched in 1999. It's one of the most liquid ETFs in the world. Current share price, approximately $722, expense ratio 0.18%, right? December 2025, when QQQ also converted from unit investment trust structure to a standard open-end fund. Combined with its sister fund, QQQM, the 2 Invesco Nasdaq 100 ETFs hold approximately $450 billion in assets. QQQ's 1-year return as of late June is around 34%. QQQM launched in October 2020 specifically to give retail buy and hold investors a lower cost version. Current share price approximately $300, expense ratio 0.15%, same index as QQQ, but at a lower share price designed to make fractional and regular contributions easier. No operational differences from QQQ since QQQ completed its structure conversion in December 2025. IQQ is brand new. Blackrock launched in July 9th, 1 month ago, basically. Initial share price, $24, gross expense ratio, 0.12%, temporarily reduced to 0.10% through a fee waiver that expires July 31st, 2027. After that date, the expense ratio reverts to 0.12% unless Blackrock extends the waiver. IQQ is part of Blackrock's $6 trillion iShares platform, but in terms of live trading history, it's only been around for like 30 days. So here's the framework for deciding which one actually matters for your specific situation. The expense ratio obviously is the number everybody leads with in this kind of comparison, but it's not the only cost that really matters. For a buy and hold investor, there are 3 practical costs to factor in: the annual expense ratio, the bid to ask spread every time you take a trade, and for anyone in a taxable account already holding a position, any capital gains tax owned from switching. The difference between 0.10% and 0.5% is 5 basis points. On $100,000, that's $50 a year. On 10 grand, it's $5, right? The savings are there, but they need to be weighted against the liquidity and track record of the fund that you're choosing, at least for me. Obviously, QQQ, right? This is the liquidity king. Its primarily competitive advantage has nothing to do with its expense ratio. It's literally the options ecosystem that we talk a lot about here. QQQ has one of the deepest, most liquid options market of any security on earth. Tight bid to ask spread on its options chain, massive open interest, daily and weekly expiration cycles. For anyone selling covered calls like we like to do here, running spreads or using QQQ for any options-based strategy, QQQ's liquidity, it cannot be beat. No other Nasdaq 100 ETF has anything even close to QQQ's options market. Look, if you're building a retirement strategy like I am around my covered calls, using a large low-cost basis QQQ position to sell far out of the money calls for income during retirement, QQQ is the vehicle that supports that strategy best. QQQM and IQQ don't have the options market to do the same. All right, QQQM though is the right choice for most retail buyers. You'll see this a lot on Reddit. For someone building a long-term buy and hold Nasdaq 100 position through like a monthly dollar cost averaging, right? And not planning to use options, QQQM is where the math has pointed since 2020. Like lower per share price than QQQ makes regular contributions cleaner. 0.15% expense ratio is competitive. 4 years of live track record versus IQQ's 30 days. And the switching cost from QQQM to IQQ in a taxable account, any capital gains tax owed, easily exceeds decades of 5 basis point fee savings, okay? The article published last week from Tech Times put it directly. QQQM still wins for most retail investors even after IQQ's launch. Let's talk about IQQ, the new entrant, right? With a catch. IQQ's 0.10% expense ratio is currently the cheapest way to own the Nasdaq 100. That's the headline they're leading with, right? But here's the fine print. The 0.10% rate is a fee waiver, not a permanent structure. The gross expense ratio is 0.12%. On August 1st, 2027, if Blackrock doesn't extend the waiver, IQQ reverts to 0.12%, only 3 basis points cheaper than QQQM, and above State Street's QNDX at 0.10% gross. The other issue is liquidity. IQQ is 30 days old. The bid-ask spread on a new ETF with limited assets is wider than on an established fund. That spread is a cost that shows up on every transaction and doesn't appear in the expense ratios. For someone starting like a fresh position with no position to switch and no option strategy to consider, IQQ is obviously a reasonable choice at 0.10%, but for someone already in QQQM in a taxable account, switching for 5 basis points makes, like, in my opinion, no financial sense, okay? But this is my practical guide across all 3 of these funds. For me, being an active trader, QQQ is for active traders and option sellers who need the deepest, most liquid options market available on a Nasdaq 100 underlying, right? The 0.18% expense ratio is the price of that liquidity, and it's worth it for the most specific use case. Now, I don't have enough time to cover our full covered call strategy here on the channel, but you're definitely going to want to watch the full ARK option strategy. At the end, you get my 15 favorite stocks under $30, my 2 premium calculators, and my full trade log template. You're definitely going to want to learn this strategy for yourself. You literally can spend maybe a couple hours a week, if that, using this strategy. So click that first link and check out that workshop. QQQM is for long-term retail investors using regular DCA contributions into a Nasdaq 100 position, lower per share price, 4-year track record, competitive, 0.15% fee, and no reason to switch, in my opinion, as long as you're not actively planning to trade. IQQ is interesting for new money, entering this market fresh, particularly for investors who prefer the iShares platform and want the lowest possible expense ratio. In my opinion, it's too new to evaluate on anything beyond fees, right? And that waiver risk, right? That's going to happen. The real question isn't which one is the cheapest right now. It's which one matches how you're actually going to use this position in the future, okay? Look, I own QQQ as part of my regular weekly accumulation pool because I plan to eventually sell covered calls on the position in my retirement years. That requires QQQ's options market. For a pure buy and hold accumulation position with no options strategy, QQQM would be my choice over IQQ until IQQ builds a real track record and the fee waiver situation really resolves. IQQ, in my opinion, I'm going to watch it. If Blackrock extends the waiver beyond 2027 and the fund builds some good liquidity, who knows? It could become the default choice for new money into the Nasdaq 100, but only time will tell. I've got some questions for you guys, as always, in the comment section. If you're currently holding QQQM in a taxable account, would you ever consider switching to IQQ for 5 basis point advantage? Or does the waiver expiration risk and limited track record kind of keep you where you're at? And number 2, for those of you that sell options, right, does QQQ's liquidity advantage over QQQM and IQQ change how you think about the different kinds of expense ratio differences? Let us know down below in the comments section. Also, if you're brand new to all this, you're definitely going to want to attend the full ARK option strategy workshop, 90 minutes long. At the end, you get my 15 favorite stocks under $30, my 2 premium calculators, and my full trade log template. So click that first link in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.